Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chloe the Dev Unfiltered. Chloe here. Today, I'm going to be going through Mint-based docs, but to get started, I'm going to start from the very beginning. So, what is Mint-based? It is I kind of like the descriptions like Nate has put up or Nate and team have put up on the homepage, a purposeful NFT engine. Because it's not just an NFT store or a smart contract where you can mint NFTs, and it's not just a marketplace, but it's really a place where you can build whatever you'd like. But you can mint, sell, trade on your own smart contract. And so obviously the stats to the right here, 265 stores, 5.5 thousand near earned so far, 1.3 thousand tokens. Sorry, 13,000 tokens minted, geez. 400 plus minters and 10,000 plus tokens actually listed on the Mint-based marketplace, which is pretty cool. So at the top, you can kind of go through you can kind of scroll down and see some live auctions and stores, but this kind of stuff will change over time. In my opinion, you can kind of pop into the marketplace, which is one of the main features that probably won't change in general, but the look of it might change, but still you can kind of see the NFTs, people mint them, they list them for sale, and they come up here. You can see the near price on these NFTs in the bottom right hand corner. Some of these are auctions, some of these are buy now prices. There's GIFs, there's videos, there's 3D files, all different types of NFTs you can kind of look through. So that's kind of Mint-based in a nutshell. So you can kind of dig into what the community is doing. So I am a co-facilitator of the Crate-based community. So if you'd like to join Crate-based and get some support for a project, if you're like, hey, I'm creative, I'd like to launch a project where eventually maybe my NFTs will, sorry for the noise. They love to be really loud out there. So if you're like, hey, I'd like to get support for a project where my NFTs, my assets might eventually end up on this wonderful marketplace or a marketplace like it in the decentralized world, then you can join CreateBase and you can kind of pop in and see what we got going on there. So if you hit that, you'll kind of be brought to the CreateBase.community website, where you can get all the information about getting started. We have funding in Near tokens and other kinds of support for projects getting started on Mint-based and using Near. You can kind of see all the other parts of the community, the LinkedIn, the NPM package, Medium, all the other fun stuff. But that's not what we're doing today. We're kind of popping into people who are building on Near. So if you're like, okay, maybe I am creative, maybe I do want to get support, but how do I get started with that? Then you might want to pop over to the developer section. Maybe you're not ready to pop into the graph yet, and maybe you're not necessarily a developer popping into JavaScript yet, but you're still someone who's going to develop something and build. And so you might want to get started into the docs. When you click this Get Started button, it does drop you into the developer docs. So I'll click it so you can see. It'll drop us into, if you look on the left here, so this is kind of, the docs here. You can see all over here. It starts from overview at the top and kind of goes through like the NEP 171 token standard, how the market works, and here you can see the developer section. We're not going to start at the developer section today, so I'm going to close this tab. And I already have this kind of open. I'm already logged into Gitbook here, and I am at the overview section. And so all the welcomes. And so today I'm actually going to be going through this is going to be a start of me going through the docs, and I'm going to be editing as well. So I'm not actually checking, now I am checking the chat. So if someone actually does come in here and you would like to chat about the docs, please feel free, but I'm just going to get started, go for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to do this hopefully a couple times a week. I think this is one of the most efficient ways probably of just supporting the community and also learning myself about what's going on. Like eventually I can drop into some of these links and see if they're correct and stuff like that. So overview, all the welcomes. Introduction. Hello. We built a very complicated machine and we'll do our best to make it as simple as possible so we can all build a more robust, accountable, and transparent world for our children to grow up in. I put a comma there, but hey, we'll see what happens. Anyways, for creators, website UI Near. So here it seems like it takes you to create a store. For developers, you can build your own mint base, okay? And then for Ethereum users, you can they still have the Ethereum side where you can mint your NFTs and use that. For now, I think That's good enough. Labeling them 1, 2, 3 might not be as relevant. Maybe we can do like bullet points. But I think it's pretty cool for now. Saying that these are the 3 categories people we support, good enough. Purposeful NFT. Since the CryptoKitty explosion in 2017, that is when I first heard about NFTs. I will admit, we have figured out the first form of value that NFTs can give us, and that's collectability. I would agree there. I think that was when mass amounts of people were like, okay, the blockchain can be useful for for collecting assets and assigning value to who owns what. We know that from tokens, right? From ERC20s. But having a standard of NFT allows us to trade collectibles as well. So not only do people want to trade, and I think that's one of the things blockchain has proven its value for, is trading in marketplaces. And so not only does money have marketplaces, but also collectibles have marketplaces. And the next part of this, I think, is very important. We think this is just the beginning, as we see NFTs being the primitive of trade for almost any good or service. And so I think that's the distinctive point, is that an NFT just means a non-fungible token. Non-fungible just being the opposite of fungible. So something's either fungible or non-fungible. So fungible is like the money you have. $1 can be exchanged for another dollar. You don't really care which one you have usually. If it's ripped or torn, that might be a little bit different. But for the most part, a dollar is a dollar. It's fungible. You can take it to any bank or any store and they'll accept it. They don't care which one you have. A non-fungible asset is any asset that has some sort of value that you actually care about. Like, that's unique. So maybe you got a special jacket for your birthday and you really care because that special jacket's yours. There might be many other assets like it at other stores, but that one's non-fungible because it's yours and it has a certain value to it. And being able to understand its value and attach value to it and then extract value from it is very important. And NFTs on chain, and that kind of definition of them can be very, very valuable in the blockchain, because you can in a trust minimized way verify that whatever you're purchasing in that marketplace is true. So if you're buying a concert ticket as an NFT, and it says this is being sold by this stadium or this sports team, you can know that it's true. Because you can see it from the blockchain, the account is the right account. Near has human readable names, which helps. Very user friendly. You can read, okay, this is actually Scotiabank Arena. Okay, .near selling the ticket. I'm going to buy it on this decentralized marketplace. And that can be very efficient. In 1 second confirmation times, I have this ticket. And you can do a whole bunch of other things on top of that. So Ethereum has one big problem, and that's the gas fees. Now that we're both Ethereum and Near, we can start testing this with low transfer, minting, and listing fees. So I'm gonna actually pop in here, because I think some of the cool parts of what's going on, like, I think it's less to do currently with like simply the gas fees and more like shared security. And so, like, I think it's one of the cool things is testing both sides of this. And the fact that with Near and the idea of sharding coming in hopefully this fall actually, is that you don't actually, you're actually splitting the security across multiple shards, and potentially this is a viable future. It'll definitely keep gas fees lower for the security that's used. And it's the path Ethereum is using for Ethereum 2 as well. But to the current state of Ethereum, you definitely have shared security. You see the price going higher and security being shared across DeFi. And so I think wording this, and having purposeful NFTs is the idea that you need to test with low transfer, minting, and listing fees. So let's make sure that's important. In order to start truly testing the limits of what this can do. I can't spell, by the way, so bear with me there. So in order to start truly testing limits of what this primitive, I kind of want to call it like these primitives, because it's not just the NFT that anyone created. It's the idea that like this token standard is created. Multiple people are creating their own forms of NFTs. You can build on top of the NFT here at Mintbase. So for example, you could have a Mintbase store, launch your NFT, and then build a whole smart contract on top of it that reads data from that. And anyways, you can create your own unique asset. So anyways, in order to truly testing limits of what these primitives can do, I can't spell. So I love the age where you can just right click something and get the correct spelling. So I like that. In order to start truly trusting the limits of what these primitives can do, it is important to have low barriers to experimentation. I love that, like low barriers to entry, fine, but what if you're already in and you just want to have fun? Low barriers to experimentation. And that's what I think what Near is all about, and what Mintbase is definitely trying to put forth with the Mintbase JS and all that stuff, and the ease of just creating your own smart contract on Ethereum and on Near. In order to start truly testing the limits of what instruments can do, it is important to have low barriers to experimentation. Shared security model. So Mintbase is currently launched on Near and Ethereum. But one of the current issues with Ethereum is its shared security model. Oh yeah, that's not, why are you doing that? Security model. I mean, also the storage model, but let's just keep it very simple for now. Maybe eventually we can go into a nice because eventually this should have a reason for both, right? We should be talking about, and this is kind of why I'm doing this live, because the idea is people can pop in and give me examples and reasons. But in my opinion, when we're talking about purposeful NFTs, we need to think about the ability to experiment right now, but also to understand that our experiments might be able to live on. So understanding that the longevity of the chain is thinking in terms of storage being viable. So when I build something on Near, I know that I'm actually paying for, or someone's paying for the storage. So nodes or computers or servers somewhere are actually being incentivized to store that data. Whereas, and then you have so on Mintbase you have Arweave, and we'll get into all this stuff as well. But just in the overview and the introduction, it's important to understand, just in the beginning, right here, are you going to build on Near? Are you going to build on Ethereum? Why? And so we're talking about low barriers to experimentation being what's really important to Mintbase and what's really important to the future of NFTs. And so while Mintbase is on Near and Ethereum, the issue can be it shares can be. So it's like high platform fees, in the form of gas, of course. So maybe we'll just say gas we can put, and then eventually you can add a link somewhere to like what Ethereum gas means and how it works. But most people aren't really going to care. All they're going to know is, okay, because of this shared security model, the price goes up, the gas platform fees goes up. The idea of Near is that with sharding, it's current, I should say actually. Actually, I should say actually consensus. I should call it algorithm actually, like proof of work, arguably. We shouldn't even call it security because it's not even that much different. Anyways, we're not even. This is why I call it Closely Unfiltered. I don't call it like some work meeting because I'm actually going through like my brain of like, what is the main difference that causes the gas fees to be higher, which leads to high platform fees. Gas. Currently, Ethereum uses a proof of work system where, and to be fair, currently Near uses this as well, but Near is planning to go to sharding in the next few months. We'll see. Currently, Ethereum uses a proof of work system where must. I don't want to get too technical, I guess is why I'm taking a long time to write this. And I'm trying to be like, currently Ethereum uses a proof of work system where all nodes must verify the. Let's keep it simple. Okay, currently Ethereum uses a proof of work system where all nodes must verify every transaction, right? But that's not the real, like, anyways, let's just call it that. While Near uses an arguably more efficient proof of stake system, let's call it that. Currently, Ethereum uses a proof of work system where all nodes must, and we can have, again, eventually have links to these so people can actually dig into it a bit deeper. For now, I kind of want to get like what it would look like on this page, and then eventually I could dig in again. Currently, Ethereum uses a proof of work system where all nodes must verify every transaction, while Near uses a proof of stake system. Proof of stake I feel like I should like just Google and just like take a definition and just put like, anyways, proof of stake. Or, yeah. This allows transactions I don't want to sit here trying to explain proof of stake to people in the Mintbase docs. I want to just focus on the fact that Mintbase is launched on both systems. On Ethereum currently with proof of work, you're sharing security, so platform fees could be high. On Near, proof of stake is the new system which allows let's use the wording they already used. This allows us to start test. Let's call it experiment. And I like how we're calling it experimentation, right? It's truly experimenting. Like no one's really here trying to say, in my opinion, that anything's better than another. I mean, I think most people are trying to say that proof of stake is better than proof of work. Even Ethereum is moving to proof of stake. So, you can't build on Ethereum 2 at the moment, so arguably we can experiment on proof of stake currently with Near. This allows us to experiment on Near with low transfer, minting, and listing fees, and it is pretty inexpensive, which is great. There we go, and I think that is what I'm going to call that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure how many spaces I put here. I'm not sure how many spaces are supposed to be there. I think these are spaces are supposed to be there. Anyways, now I'm going to read this, and I'm going to stop the video, and I'm going to take lunch. Anyways, and I need to add so many links here, like CryptoKitty linked and everything. But since the CryptoKitty explosion in 2017, we have figured out the first form. We have figured out. We have. Since the CryptoKitty explosion in 2017, we have figured out the first form of value that NFTs can give us. Let's keep that for now. I'm not sure how I feel about form of value, but I think collectability as a form of value is very interesting, and so I like that. Anyways, we think this is just the beginning, as we see NFTs as being the primitive of trade for almost any good and service. And I like that because it focuses on the marketplace and trade, and how when you put something into, why make something an NFT is because an NFT is a standard, and it's like an API. And so once you make something an NFT, it can be traded easily for almost any good and service across multiple decentralized exchanges. So right now there's the mint-based exchange, but anybody can use we'll talk about it soon, the NEP 171 token standard of Near, and create a marketplace, which mint-based NFTs can be held at. You can use a fee that's a bit lower, right? You can do some, things that are fun. You can maybe make a higher fee, but you can, drop your own tokens to people who use your marketplace. There's other ways of, having fun as well. So maybe you're really a front-end designer, and you really just want to be like, okay, I want to make a front end for a marketplace of NFTs. You could just do that and build on top of Mint-Base in that way. So I'm going to hit save. It says 0 edits, but I'm going to hit, I can describe my changes. So updated overview. It says 0 edits, but, 1 edit. Okay. I guess I won't merge my edits. I'll let Nate or Carol merge my edits. But that's about it from me. Thank you everyone for coming along my wonderful live streams today. If you popped in or whatever, if you watch the video later on. But yeah, I'll put the links to the docs are in the description of this video. Go through them yourselves. If you see needs for edits, please message me. I'm on the CreateBase Telegram, so you can pop over in the beginning of the video, go to the CreateBase community, pop into our Telegram, hit up Chloe the Dev, and be like, hey Chloe, I think we should update this, change this, leave comments on the GitHub book, and we'll get that edited. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day wherever you are, evening, night, morning, 2 a.m., whatever.